Waka waka waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review. And like that, we are finally at the end. Well, not the end, but close to the last individual of the component of the Ocular Max Combaticons or Assaulticons, whatever Ocular Max calls them. I'm just going to call them Combaticons, is here. This is PS-16 Volatus, and this is, of course, their take on a Combaticon Blastoff. And so there he is right before us. Now, I got this figure before I started the channel, so of course he has the aftermarket decal, which I got from Endong Zhu, Facebook, very good guy to do business with, and of course that means that I have not done a formal unboxing, so we are going to real quick take a spin of the box, and of course we have a nice image of Volatus, PS-16 Volatus. He is a space warrior, all built in, indicating that this is no parts forming combiner, even though combiners are parts forming by nature. I know we're not going to get into it. And of course the nice classic Transformers logo at the top in Decepticon colors. We got a side picture of Volatus looking all mean and evil, and then of course we got the, I love this again, and we see the pretty much almost all complete, this again, this is not the order they released them initially, so of course we got Brawl missing, even though we just did them, but we can see him transforming into the shuttle, and then of course his robot self. There we go in attack mode. Then of course you have the bio on back, and you could read that whenever you have the time. And then of course we have his G1-ish text back card. Of course we get our decoder with that. You can see all kinds of graphs and charts and all that cool stuff right there with the decoder that is included. Then of course we have our Combaticon team on the side. There we go. We have Incursus, Volatus, Impetus, and Fraudo right there. And yeah, so there we go. And of course we got the product shots on the top of the box and the legal stuff on the bottom in the language I cannot read. And lastly but not leastly, he does come with a card as well, and you can see a nice animated image of PS-16 Volatus. Turn it around, you get probably the same bio that's on the back of the box. I don't know because I ever read, and you get a whole bunch of stats and whatnot. And there we go for the card and the box. And let's take a look at Volatus. And yeah, of course, this is Blastoff. Now, again, proportion-wise, I think this guy kinda, you know, again, I don't remember any such big, beefy legs, but beyond that, again, I really do love the coloration of this guy. I'll take a quick look at the head sculpt, and he has kind of a interesting head sculpt. Now, I am told, I was going to save this for the accessories section, but that he does come with an alternate head that is a more tune accurate, less colored face. I never did get that head with the reissues, so and that's okay. I don't even want it. I like this face. I like the fact that the eyes are defined. They are defined in a nice kind of lavender almost. Looks really, really good. Looks really kind of mean and diabolical. He really does look like that mad professor type. And of course, again, repro labeled Decepticon symbol for Endong Zhu, so that does not come with this figure. I put that on after the fact. Got the 3 little portholes right here, kind of a space shuttle-y front end. And you know, one thing I do like about this figure is, save for a few things, there's really nothing to tell you that he transforms into a space shuttle for the most part. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell. And of course, the arms there, nice gaps filled in. Again, beautiful engineering by Ocular Max. And if we look at the back, you know, again, for the whole space shuttle kind of coming out his back, it's really super clean. Just really looks good. Again, you got the combiner hand hidden up on the inside of the legs there. That looks good. All the hardware moved to the inside of the legs, looking really good. Very little hardware visible on the back area. Again, just a really kind of one of the more interesting designs, but just overall a really good looking robot mode. Really nice use of dark diabolical colors. I really like it. Moving on to his articulation, the head, of course, can look up a little bit. It can look down just a wee bit, and it can spin all the way around, do everything you need it to. The arms aren't a friction. It is a bit of a softer connection, but again, it still holds just fine. It can go all the way around. It can go all the way out to the side. He does have a bicep swivel. You can actually give him a little bit of a wrist swivel due to transformation. He does have a double jointed elbow to get you just like that. The wrist does rotate, and of course he does have all of the figures on an individual base pin, and then of course the thumb on a ball joint, similar to all of the limb Combaticons that we've gotten from Ocular Max. He does have nice waist rotation. He does have ab crunch for days, both on very stiff friction. Then of course you can pull out these skirts right here. They go out to the side of this. You can just kind of move this back just like that. He has nice clickety clackety ratcheted fusion kick. He can do a fusion back kick almost all the way, which is pretty good. He can hold it with this massive thigh of his, and then of course he can go out to the side on friction, and he can hold it as well just the same. And then we can close this back up, bring it down just like that. Same thing right here. He does have, it's a very soft ratchet for a full bend at the knee. He can have thigh swivel. He does have toe tilt. He does have kind of an ankle tilt, except it's hidden all the way in there. And yeah, no real ankle to speak of, and that is okay. And there we have it for articulation. Moving on to his accessories, he does come with only one. His I believe this was an ionic blaster, I remember, from Starscream's Brigade, and again, it is cast all in black. They're no real very G1-y, undetailed, very good, and of course it does transform a bit to fit into his shuttle mode, which we'll show later. But you can fold the handle up like this and fold the barrel up like this, and it'll compact into almost a nice neat little square. Bring this back down, tab in the wrist method of retention. So you can open the wrist, bring this in just like that, close the wrist, and there we go. There we have it with his ionic blaster, which is more sophisticated than anybody else's puny weapons. And again, once again, as I previously said, I do not have the tuned animation accurate head, so again, we will not be showcasing that. And for a few quick comparisons, let's of course bring his Unleasher Starscream there. So you can see he's about the same height as MP52. And lastly but not leastly, since we are at the end, it is time to get everybody together. So let's bring in Frotto. Let's bring in Impetus. Let us bring in Incursus. Let us bring in Probus. Oh god, these guys are huge. I mean, it's not as bad as the Gigapower Dinobots, but it still is quite. And there we go. We've waited oh so long, and that is our Ocular Max Combaticons. And what a team this is. This looks absolutely glorious. This is what I've been waiting for. Again, this is the whole reason, in my opinion, to get this set, is just how badass these guys look together. I mean, finally, a masterpiece set of Combaticons, and they look absolutely too cool together. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. So there you go. All right, so let's get Mr. Volatus into his space shuttle mode. Now this is a bit more, I would say a wee bit more involved than the other ones, but nevertheless, it's not all that difficult. So first thing I want to do, I want to make sure the hands are, of course, in a fist, in one of the more compact modes possible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring down the arm, if it will come down. Bring down the arm and this hinge right here, or the forearm, I should say. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this piece up, and we are going to bring this around all the way like this. So we're going to rotate the fist around so it's looking like this. And then we're going to move this up just like that. And then you can rotate this into place. You can see we're already forming the front of the space shuttle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate. We're going to kind of tuck this hinge up like this. And then we're going to turn this like this, and then rotate the arm just like this, and then rotate just like this, and make sure this hinge is tucked in just like that. And there we have essentially an arm all done. You can bring it out just like that. We're going to do the same thing on this arm. I'll do that off camera. So now we got him looking like that, and what we're going to do is we're going to come back here. We're going to open up. We're going to fold up these panels here just like this, get those out of the way. And then you can see you got these little panels right in here that just fold fold right up just like that. And we're gonna open this panel up just like this. You'll see the faux space shuttle fin, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna split that directly in half. And then as we bring this down, we're gonna bring up the tabs. They're gonna come up just like this. So you see it's just like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to open up the chest piece and flip that around. And while we're flipping it, we're gonna rotate this all the way around. You can move that back. Kind of rotate that all the way around. You can see our actual space shuttle piece coming in. Fold that in, and so now the head is back here, and you can see these two wingtips. What you're gonna do, let's lift this up real quick, is you're gonna fold this piece in. Just like that, and that's gonna kind of cover up the head, and then you can just bring this piece down and it'll fold up just like that. And next up, what we can do is we can bring both these sections that are free and clear. We're gonna come in, and you can see you got tabs right on either side. You got tabs right here, and you're going to combine those together. And what we can do now is we can rotate these flaps down, get them out of our way, and we can kind of rotate these to the side, keep them together. Rotate to the side, keep them together. May have to untab, and you can see we have tabs on the bottom right here that's going to connect those together to form the space shuttle front, just like that. Let me raise up the camera, and then what we're going to do is this whole assembly is going to rotate up like this, and everything, if done right, everything should kind of come around the head. Yep, just like that. And then you could tab it all together just like that. And now basically we have the front of the space shuttle all done. So there we go, and now let's work on the legs. All right, so we're bringing the camera down to work on the legs real quick. And firstly, what we can do real quick is let's lift open these hip skirts. Just give ourselves some room to operate right here. And let us get started. So the first thing that we want to do real quick here is let's move this out of the way. And what we can do is we can start unpiecing this. Just untab this, and we can bring it back and bring it back just a little bit and turn it around just like that. Next up, what we can do is we can untab the fin, and you see it just tabs in right here, tabs in right to there, and we can start bringing that up. You can bring up the back of the shuttle fin just like that, and just kind of leave that out of the way for now. Next up, we're going to open up this foot piece, and you can bring this down, and what you're going to do is you're just going to grab this purple piece only. You're going to pull it out as far as it will go. It should lock in just like that. You can see we got our combiner hand right in there. And then once we are done with that, I believe we can close this up just like this. And now you can see you have a tab right here, and it's going to tab in right to here for the shuttle fin. And so that'll tab in just like that. What we're going to do next is we are going to bring this toe up, and you see you've got a tab right here. It's going to tab in right to here, and that will form the other piece of the shuttle booster. If it will tab incorrectly, and it is, that looks like it is. So we should be looking just like that right now. And then lastly, what we're going to do for this foot is we're going to untab right here. You can see you're just kind of breaking his leg almost. We can open this up, open this patch right here. You can flip this around and in just like that, and that's going to make it so you can pull out this tab here, and then you can unfold this right here. Next up, we can close this back up, and we can close this back up. So we got something like this going on, and it's going to be the same thing for the other leg. I'm going to do that off camera. All right, so now we got that all going on. So you can see we got all kinds of tabs and slots all along the intro. We got them on the thighs and everywhere. I got them right here, got them right here. And what we're gonna do is just we wanna make sure the legs are lined up completely, because now we're going to combine, we're going to connect the feet together. Connect them together. Love will keep us together. I know it's a very odd song to sing while doing a Decepticon killing machine transformation, but whatever. Just gotta make sure everything is lined up all across. And there we go. So that is everything. Man, that took quite a bit of muscle. All right, so now what we're gonna do is let's just make sure this is full down. Now what we're gonna do is we are getting towards the end right here. So real quick, you got these little panels here, just fold them in. You can see they got tabs on them. Same thing for the other side that has a tab in here. And what you're gonna do is you are going to connect, you're going to fold these together, and as you fold them together, you just kind of want to make sure they're at the same relative height. This is kind of a pain in the, and yeah, they're just going to connect together just like that. Next up, what you're going to do is you're going to take these hip skirts, and you can see they got a little tab slot, and it's going to connect right here. That's going to lock them in place. Same thing for this side. And next up, you can see, and we can kind of straighten this up, you got some keyed areas here. What you're going to do is you're going to bring this plate in, and that's going to go right in the keyed area. And this is the landing. You can kind of fold this in for now, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Fold this in, and just like that, and that will have that all set up. So we got the shuttle body pretty much done. And next, what we can do is these two areas here, we can kind of fold these down. You can see they got little latches right here that's going to latch onto these keys right here. This whole thing's kind of like these little bone keys or whatever they are. So we got that going. And next up, what we can do is we can bring this around 100%, because again, we got more of the keys right here, and we got Dino Cat with something to say. I think he's saying, no, you're messing up the transformation. We're gonna lock those in right here, and you can see that's gonna form all of the space shuttle wing. And then, so we're gonna come around with the other side on this one, and we're gonna lock that in, and we're gonna form the space shuttle wing over here. And next up, I just lost my spudger, because what we're gonna do, oh, there we go, is we're gonna take those right here and fold them over. And that's gonna basically cover up that gap there. And that being said, like magic, there we have Volatus, aka Blastoff, in his space shuttle mode. And let's take a look at him in shuttle mode. And yeah, this is just super cool how this goes together. Again, just looks really, really good. Love the coloration. It's got the purples, the browns, and not sure how much of this is paint. I don't think a lot of it is paint. I absolutely love the windows painted on here. They look really good, done in a kind of nice metallic-ish purple, outlined in a deep purple. Not the band, of course. And of course, my faction symbols on there. Those do not come with the figure. As I recall, he had them in a few spots in the shuttle mode, at the front of the ship and on the sides. I might actually replace these with zero outline, since I've started going that way with most of my Combaticons. And of course, done in a nice kind of violet. You got the thrusters, the shuttle thrusters. And then of course you have his tail fin right here, done in brown. Looks really, really good. And again, you got some nice molded detail on the wings here. It's a space shuttle, so not sure how much molded detail needs to be in here. And then of course you got the ports on the front all molded in, and then on the bottom you got a really nice clean, you can't even tell this turns into a robot. It looks so good. So yeah, and there you go for that. Now again, a few things. One thing you can do is you can close up the landing gear in shuttle mode. Just as simple as closing up all of these panels right here. This does, unfortunately for the front landing gear, this does kind of require a spudger to get back down, of course, so just kind of bring that out, and then of course these back two landing gears just go up and they'll just snap lightly into place, and there you go for that. Also, one thing note, he can store the weapon in flight mode, so what you got to do is you kind of got to go in, I always find it best just kind of dig a spudger in, and just kind of snap that off. That way you got to watch out because the tab's on right here, and again, pull this up, and that'll make it easy to pull this up, and you just bring these up right here on this hinge right here, and hey, it looks like a little launch bay for launch of the satellites. And what you'll notice is it does have kind of hard to see it. There you go. You can kind of see it right there, a little porthole. And what you can do is you can take his gun and you fold the holster, and then you fold this in, and what this is going to do here is this is going to peg right in to that little holster area. Oh, my bad. The barrel will not plug in. It's this right here, right there, plugs right in, and that will hold it firmly in place, and then it tabs in right there, so that'll hold in nice and secure, and then you can just shut the back door, and there you go, and then you won't even know his gun is inside, and yeah, there you go. And let's do a quick couple of comparisons here. Bear with me now, bear with me. So of course, there he is with a standard Takara carbine, and yeah, you could definitely see that see the discrepancies. There's no way this car is as big as this Datsun is as big as this space shuttle, but what do you want? I mean, at the end of the day, it's gotta adhere to a certain scale, and you can only do it in one mode, so pick whichever one you want it to do. But yeah, so there you go for that. And lastly but not least, are we ready to do it? Are we gonna do it? We're gonna do it. Okay, so get him over here. He's gonna be front and center. Then, of course, let's bring in Mr. Incursus, aka Onslaught. And let's raise the camera. We're going to have to raise the camera. We got to raise everything up, because here we go. Let's bring in our Mr. Impetus right there. And lastly but not least, let's bring in Brawl, and let's bring in Swindle. Actually, we'll put Swindle up front since he's the slightest bit smaller than Brawl. And there we go. There we have our Combaticon team in mass right there before us, and damn do they look good. I mean, they look like they just walked right off the set. I absolutely love this. I mean, it's just so cool. And again, the colors really bring it out. I love how this set absolutely looks really, really super, bringing forth Incursus there. And yeah, if you are going in on this set, it's 100% worth it. 100% worth it, even for this alone, if you're not even going for the combiner. So yeah, and there you go. All right, so let us get Mr. Volatus into his arm mode, or his combiner mode, as we will. And so what we're gonna start off with doing is, first off, let us take these broken wings. We're gonna flip them up just like this and bring them all the way around. And real quick, you notice this tab, there's a tab right, it's hard to see, right there, and it's gonna tab right into here. Same thing for the other side. Just bring this up just like that. Pull this out. Bring it around. And of course, tab it in on the other side just like that. Next, what we want to do is we want to kind of open up these hatches down here. And then we're just going to kind of pull off, just kind of undoing all the work that we did at the bottom. And then we're going to use that to bring up these hatches. You can kind of, actually we'll leave them like this for now. You can kind of open them up just like that. And next up, we're going to unlock the leg pads just to give ourselves room for work. And now what we can do is we can just untab all of this and break that, take the gun out. And so there we have all of that looking like that. So now let's give him some hands. So first off, let us open this piece up right here and just kind of take this piece right here, fold this outward just like that, and we're gonna fold this in right here just like this. Next up, what we want to do is you just kind of want to open this, and same thing with bringing it back further. We're gonna fold this right back in, basically almost go right back into robot mode. And after we fold that in just like that, we can close this, so you're kind of getting the reverse transformation. And there we close that up just like that. And now what we can do is we'll come around to this side so you can see what I'm doing. You can kind of just unpeg the wing and then open this up, pull his little booster stick down, his boom stick down just like that, and now we can untab this from right here, and we can open this up, and this can kind of swivel out right here just like this. And next up, open this up. Pull the hand out just like this. Again, you guys kind of gotta fidget this inside. We're gonna hide the booster inside just like that. And then you can open up this hatch right here just like that. Bring this down just like this, and then kind of orientate the booster in there just like that. And now this will become flush and close up just like that. You can close this up, and then you can kind of put the hand half out here just like that. And now that we have the booster like this, what we can do is we can bring this down. You'll notice these two tabs right here, they're going to go in right up to this tooth right here, and then get this tab, it's going to tab in right here. So you can just tab that in like so. And also we can real quick untab the rocket booster, fold it in half just like that, and kind of bring this down, and that'll get a lot out of our way. And now we can snap that just into place. So we got the whole leg, we got one half of the hand looking like that, and then you just turn this around, and you know, so tab right here, gonna tab in right here, so we can do that. And it's a bit of a pain in the butt. See, and the last thing to do is, of course, flip the wing up, and there you have one half of his hand all done. Same thing on this side. So now we have both his hand halves looking like that, and just you want to make sure that the tail fin is folded in just like this. And then you notice his tabs all lined up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring them all together, combine them, if you would say. We're going to do a preemptive combine of this guy just like this. Make sure everything tabs together just like that. And now what we can do is we can kind of close up all of his little waist piece. Oh, these tabs kind of filled themselves back in. That can't happen just yet. And okay, there we go. So there we go. So just like that, close those up. Then you just close these up, tab just down here. That'll lock those in just like this. And last but not leastly, hold on, I gotta get my spudger real quick. Aha, there it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and I had to use a spudger. This will bring down the combiner peg. You just want to bring it so it snaps into place, and then you can turn the arm just like this, and turn the hand just like maybe it's the other way. Nope, definitely that way. So hold on. Interesting. Give me 1 second. Aha, so there we go. So you want it orientated just like this, and then what you're gonna do is you can spin the arm up just like that, and then you can open the hands up, and then you just undo the little thumb, get that all raveled out, and there you have, like magic, you have Volatus, aka Blastoff, in his arm mode. So let's take a look at the arm mode just real quick, because this is, at the end of the day, it's just a space shuttle in the form of an arm. But hey, it does look very good, very nice. G1, we've already seen most of the details before. I got the combiner peg right here. Go over the articulation. It will have a bicep, so we'll go over this again when we do the combiner, which is coming up. And then of course he does have a unit and elbow and some nice beefy ratchets at the knees to get you a 90-degree bend at the elbow. And then, of course, he does have a swivel at the base of the thumb. He has a hinge at the base of the thumb, a swivel on a mushroom peg at the base, and then, of course, a hinge right here. He has a base hinge at the fingers, and then a secondary hinge and a tertiary hinge right up here. The wrist, of course, does have a very limited kind of swivel, so there you go with that. And real quick, as a final comparison, and this is going to be kind of big because I got him holding the gun. That's how I have him displayed. I'm not taking it out, but there we have it with the Toy World Devastator arm. And actually, you know, the arm for arm, these are actually pretty on par size-wise with one another. You could just kind of, I mean, we already know that, you know, that this is, the Toy World is kind of a real beefy Devastator. It's not like skinny by any means, and the Ocular Max definitely going for more skinny, cartoon kind of deal. So yeah, and there we go. And again, so I mean, you know, save for some for some added girth, this actually looks pretty good, pretty comparable, but we already know that the Ocular Max is going to be certain shorter. They got kind of their own scale going on, so just something to be mindful of. But again, just a little bit of a comparison, if you will. And one final thing I do want to mention is that his gun, of course, does store the exact same way that it did in robot mode. You got the peg right down here, and you're just going to plug it right in. If it will go in. There it is. There it is. There it is. Plugs in just like that as part of the old built-in. And yeah, it just kind of looks like some hinging and whatnot. So there you go right there. And that should be well and out of the way. So yeah, then there we have it for arm mode. So let's summarize, and that is it for Ocular Max PS-16 Volatus, aka Combaticon Blastoff. And again, I'll be saying pretty much the same stuff I said every other video. Ocular Max knows what they're doing. Again, this figure, he doesn't have die cast, doesn't really have that much paint, but again, the joints, it's got it where it counts. Joints all feel nice, sturdy, nothing feels loose. The transformation, while a bit more complicated, the rest is still fun, enjoyable. The figure looks absolutely G1, fan-flippin-tastic. Again, just an absolutely superb figure. I cannot recommend this set enough to anybody. Definitely, if you are looking for a set of Combaticons, look no further. And they are affordable at, I think, roughly $120, $100 a figure. I think it's like $120 to $150 for in Cursus, if and where you find him. And that being said, if you want your own Volatus, aka Blastoff, you can check out Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I got mine. I'll put a link in the description down below. I'm assuming he's still in stock. I got this figure a few years ago, so again, I'm assuming he's still in stock. They might even have his G2 colored variant, which also is cool if that's your jam. And that being said, the next video that we have, I'm going to be combining these guys all into the mighty Assaultus, aka Bruticus. So we will be getting that on. So definitely, if you are looking forward to that, consider you are not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel to check that out. Yes, I know that people have done it, but FC Finch has not done it, and that's why it's going to be so cool. So definitely something you don't want to miss out on. Also, if you found this video informative, consider giving it a like. That helps me out. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to all my subscribers that are already here, 330, and I absolutely love it. And that being said, it is time to go. So I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.